Hello there, it's Pete over at the Samplist, and today we are checking out Flute Textures from Emergence Audio. Emergence Audio are once again expanding their texture series with their new arrival, Flute Textures. This contemporary cinematic scoring tool features all of the hallmarks of other instruments in this series. Pristine sampling, intuitive GUI, and of course the legendary Emergence Audio sound design featuring their infinite motion engine are all present in Flute Textures. With human performances and extended articulations also, Flute Textures takes the flute to the next creative level. Flute Textures downloads at 5.73 gigabytes and runs in the free Contact Player. It is also NKS compatible. It's currently on intro offer of $85. I'd like to take the opportunity to thank Emergence Audio for sending over a copy of Flute Textures so we can make this video. While we do get the instruments for free, it doesn't in any way cloud our thoughts, ideas or judgments on the instruments. We are just hard-working composers working in the industry and giving you our thoughts and ideas. So with all that in mind, let's jump straight in to Flute Textures from Emergence Audio. And here we have Flute Textures loaded up in Native Instruments Free Contact Player 7. And there is a little fluty fanfare to get us started. Now, if you've used any other Emergence Audio Textures instruments, you're going to be right at home. If not, though, I will quickly blaze through it so we get some understanding about what I'm doing in the video. So on the left and then on the far right, we have our samples. So it's a dual layered instrument. In the middle, we have a big dial. Now this one's really important because sometimes I'm going to use it. It doesn't always do the effect that you think it's going to, and sometimes it's been programmed by Emergence Audio and it moves on its own. Very, very fancy. And then we've got all of these different controls for each layer, and we've got some global effects. And then we have my all-time favorite button, which is the randomize button. And it's my favorite button because this instrument will just keep giving sound after sound after sound after sound, and there are literally millions of combinations of sounds we can now get from this instrument, and it's a wonderful feature, and it does appear in the other instruments in this series as well. Looking at the snapshots at the top, we have alternates, we have correlated, we've got experiments, we have infinite drones, infinite pads, pulses, and swells. So I'm going to play a couple from each category, and the instrument only has one NKI file, hence why I'm presenting this in the standard view. Now, we have fast vibrato to get us started. Okay, so I played a really quick example just showing the range of the instrument. And you can hear it really is cinematic. This is straight out the box, there's no effects added. Absolutely lovely. Now if I use the mod wheel, because this one isn't pre-programmed, it actually does a stereo sweep. So it pans from left to right. Very, very cool. So like I say, the dial in the middle doesn't always serve one function. Now, I'm going to just play some examples, just load them up and see what sort of sounds we've got. So we've got the stereo sweep going on there as well. Let's just do one more. So that was no vibrato. Yeah, it's very, very cool. So you can see that you can play single notes, and of course you can hold down chords as well. Beautiful. So that's a good example of the kind of sound design we can get. Now, correlated has lots of different articulations. So that's a flutter articulation. Some great range going on there as well. Let's go for, let's move away from flutter. Multiphonics. Let's see what the mod wheel does. Yeah, so you get the idea about sound design and also extended articulations as well. So some shorts. So that's really cool. We're getting kind of like this scattered performance. All I'm doing is actually holding down a G minor chord. If I was to play F major. I mean, how cool is that? That is very, very cool. I like that. Yeah, they sound absolutely brilliant. So lots of different articulations going on there. We've got some experiments. Experiments are always fun, especially the Emergence audio ones. Yeah, it's very cinematic, and even though it's an experiment, the experiments aren't so far-fetched and ridiculous that you can't use them. They're all very, very tasteful. To me, that's tasteful. I could see that in a sci-fi scoring piece of music. There we go. That's what scoring is, music. That sounds cool. Let's play one more. That's very, very cool. Oh, it is. Anyway, so we've got some infinite drones, and of course, infinite means you can hold it all night. Just keep playing it, and it will just go on forever. That one is quite loud, so I'm going to bring that down in the instrument. That's brilliant. Let's play another one. Yeah, that sounds cool. It's just very just atmospheric. Like, it really does set a scene. That one feels quite nautical. So we get these great pads, and it's not just, you know, your standard pad affair. They've been really, really well designed as well. So we've got some pulses. I'm a fan of a good pulse. That one's quite spacey and a bit industrial as well. That's what I think, anyway. Sounds great. Some great filter action on that one. Do enjoy that. Let's do one more. We'll go to the bottom. There we go. Yeah, that's cool. Do you like that as well? And then we've got some swells. I was going to play one note. Good swells. So this is a good example of a performance. So if I play an E minor chord, let's just do it that way. That's very cool. Absolutely beautiful. Now, that is as far as we're going to go in terms of sounds, but you can see there are so many different types of sounds to go through, and there's some really cool hidden surprises in terms of sounds you wouldn't expect. I'm not going to ruin it for you, but it's one of those instruments you just want to jump into. And then, of course, now we play through the snapshots, I'm just going to hit the randomize button a couple of times. It's got some awesome harmonic qualities. Let's try another one. And one more. Got some flutter going on. Some trills. That's got detective series written all over it. I know it's a little bit quiet, but obviously when you hit randomize, anything can change. But yeah, that is absolutely fantastic. I've probably got the instrument down a little bit still as well. Wow. So that is Flute Textures. Now, I've put it into a composition and I gave myself an hour for this composition, as I so frequently do, because these instruments we need to use as scoring tools. Now, I've decided to do something very dark, very cinematic. I'm using the piano as well, the Infinite Upright, which is a fantastic piano, if I don't mind saying so myself. Absolutely brilliant. And I've used cello textures on one track just so I can see how it kind of interacts. And of course, cello textures is a lot lower than flute textures. And then I've thrown in some percussion, some booms, etc. Now, I've purposely kind of weighted the EQ down sort of towards low end. So we've got like a really, almost like a noir type score going on. And then with flute textures, it's really interesting because you think flute, all I want to do is hear a flute. But because I'm trying to show off the fact this instrument has a lot of sound design elements. So I've got pads, I've got some drones, I've got some twinkly little sequences going on. And obviously I've got a melodic flute in there. But I found working with it, the contrast in sounds is absolutely fantastic. And there is also a slightly distorted pad going on. And I just think it all comes together really, really well. And of course, with the piano, the cello, and the percussion, you just get this really cool contemporary scoring piece. So I was really pleased how it came out. And I knew Flute Textures would just add another dimension, not only to the series, but to my compositions. So without further ado, let's take a listen. And then I'm going to give you my closing thoughts. After that very dark cinematic music, we are at the closing thoughts section of the video. So what do I think about Flute Textures from Emergence Audio? It is a fantastic scoring tool and it's a great addition to the Textures series. And Emergence Audio will take a standard instrument like a violin, a cello, a viola, and they will turn it into a massive sound design library. So of course we get the performances, we get the extended articulations. However, we also then get the sound design, and obviously the basis of these libraries is the incredible sampling and the way it's been captured and then being put into the Infinite Engine and just tweaked and played with. The sounds that come out of this instrument are brilliant, and it's obviously got its roots and its heart in the flutes, but some of the sounds have been really transformed that you wouldn't really recognize that the source material is just a flute, and that is a credit to Emergence Audio. So you have this really wide scope of sounds going on. So for example, we got pads, we got pulses, we got drones, we've also got the articulations, we got the performances. I did purposely put a more performance based flute about halfway through playing a melody, but I'm really taking advantage of these awesome sound design patches. So the slightly distorted drone that's going on, the little twinkly sequence, I absolutely love all of this stuff. And of course I wanted in the composition just to pair it up with some other Emergence Audio instruments, so I used the Infinite Upright, one of the best pianos I've ever bought. It is fantastic, so do check that one out. And Cello Textures, which I obtained. I think I did a review of it quite a while ago, and I've used it ever since it came out. It's a fantastic instrument too. But Flute Textures just gives everything that extra dimension, and I think the sounds are absolutely wonderful. So who's it for? I'm going to say in the first instance contemporary scoring, and that's kind of what I tried to achieve with my sort of dark and dense contemporary piece of music for my composition. And I only had an hour because I like setting myself 1 hour composing challenges, and I found it incredibly easy to use. So if you're a composer, contemporary music, and you've got to have an instrument that's going to deliver some fantastic sounds and it's very easy to use, it's great for you. But it's not limited just to contemporary music. Obviously if you work with orchestras, if you do video game music, ambient music, electronic music, experimental music, it can really work well in all of those scenarios. For me, is it a recommendation? It really is. And of course, if you have any of the other Texture series instruments, it's going to slot beautifully in there. Some extra timbres to work with. But like I say, as a scoring tool, it's absolutely fantastic. And of course, don't forget to hit that randomize button. The randomize button just means this instrument is going to keep on giving and giving and giving. And frankly, for $85, you've got all these great performances, articulations, got the sound design, and then you've got the randomize function. So you're getting a lot for your money. All that leads me to say is thank you once again so much to Emergence Audio for sending over a copy of Flute Textures so we could make this video. If you like what you heard, feel free to leave a like on the video, and of course drop us a comment. What do you think about Flute Textures? Have you used any of the other instruments in the series? And essentially let's just get a little chat, a little dialogue going about this instrument. If you're not done so already, please check out our other videos on YouTube, and of course hit that subscribe button. We only ever ask for subscribers in our videos. We have no monetary interest. We don't have advertising deals or affiliate links. We don't make any kind of money apart from the viewership through YouTube. So please hit that subscribe button. It means the world to us. It keeps driving us to make the content, and of course it spreads the word of the samplist far and wide. So until next time, have a great day and keep making that wonderful and beautiful music.